Trixie was sitting in the library of Twilight's castle. She had a few books in front of her, and they were mostly magic books. And as she was looking through one of the books and made a big sigh. Trixie, is something matter? She looked up and saw it was Starlight. Yeah, I tried to read some more, learn more advanced spells, but by looking through these magic spells books that Twilight has in her library, and some of her she given me, I had learned most of those spells already now, and some of that she told me, and I want to learn more. Well, I'm always willing to teach you some of my spells that I know. Yeah, but Starlight, you haven't taught me a lot of spells you already know, unless you learn some new ones. But Starlight shook her head, said, "No, not really. It's just I want to expand my magical knowledge, says Trix a little bit sadly though. Yeah, but there must be some point that you can probably have as a teacher. I mean, since I told you all of what I know, what about what about Twilight? She has been busy with the School of Friendship, and she basically taught me already what she knows. Hmm, there must be some pony that you can ask. What about Rarity? Well, Rarity is good in magic, but she's not the same level as advanced in magic as you and Twilight are. Yeah, you have a point. And besides, she is not even in Ponyville for the next 2 weeks. She is in Manhattan, so yeah. But there must be some pony that else that can help me. I can't figure out exactly right now, says Starlight. But I can always ask Twilight if she knows any pony that can help you. Trixie thought maybe for only a few seconds and realized that it wouldn't hurt to ask. Yeah, you can do that, says Trixie, and then put back the books in the bookshelves. Are you leaving? Yeah, I've decided to go back to my wagon and just try to relax a little bit. I mean, I have been reading these books for at least 4 hours. Oh, well, I'll let you know when Twilight get back to castle, and I'll ask her down. Yeah, sounds about right. Trixie gave her a smile and went back to her wagon. 4 hours later, Trixie woke up by a knock on her wagon door, and it was Starlight. Oh, hey Starlight, did you ask Twilight? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, there aren't any advanced magical talent ponies in Ponyville that she's aware of, but she is aware of there is actually one that is a very talented magic in Candle. Who? She asked. Dashie. Wait, the daughter of Princess Lumina? I thought she was just like Twilight. Oh no, said Starlight with a big smile. She is a very talented magic. In fact, she has been learning a lot more spells from herself. And in fact, she even had made some very powerful advanced spells of her own too. Really? Yeah. But I haven't ever heard of those spells for. Well, I mean, if I find out about those spells. Well, according to Twilight, some of the spells that Dashie had made has never been published. Oh. Yeah, I mean, she was just still experimenting, just trying them out before she made them officially published. But, I can always ask Dashie if it is possible you can maybe learn some spells from her. Trixie thought for it. Since she realized that since Starlight had taught her all that she knows about the magic spells, even some old advanced spells, and even Twilight had taught her all that she knows. And there aren't any other very magical advanced talent magic or unicorns in Ponyville. And having the daughter of Luna and Shooting Star, some pony that is a very talented magic and had made her own advanced spells, it wouldn't hurt to try at least. You can actually try to ask her though. Alright, I will. But the next day, Starlight came over to Trixie's wagon and said, I have great news for you. Oh? Dashie said that she is much willing to be your teacher and told you to show you some of her spells. Oh. But the thing is, you had to be in Camelot. Oh. Well, that would have been any trouble. Well, you had to stay there during the time since she is going to be then teaching you quite a while for how long? Trixie asked. But 2 years? 2 years? Said Trixie, shocked. But then Starlight, you start laughing. Gotcha. But she told me that you probably will be teaching about her or for about maybe 2 3 weeks. You give him almost a heart attack there. I'm sorry, Trixie, I couldn't just resist. Okay? She gave a smile and Trixie forgave her. So, but the next few days, Trixie was a little bit nervous about these teachings under of Dashie, the daughter of Luna and Shooting Star. She was really much interested in what kind of spells that Dashie would teach her. Maybe invisible spells, maybe long distance teleportation spells, and or maybe a spell that could turn her to an alicorn. But Starlight said, if you're referring to hoping a spell to make you an alicorn, don't have to give you a break your hole for that, but there isn't any. At least what I've been told, she said. So after about a few days, Trixie went to Camelot with Starlight. She wanted to be there as emotional support during the time when she was introduced to Dashie. So, this is the Trixie, the great and powerful that I heard of, is it? And she said and looked at Starlight. Yeah, the very same. Well, I guess you've been Trixie by now, instead, said Trixie. Trixie were a little bit nervous. So, well, how about we start doing our first teachings? Shall we? Trixie nodded and was nervous, but Starlight was actually allowed to watch for the next few hours, and even though Trixie did made a lot of mistakes and some of the spells did backfire, and when Trixie was told to transform one particular object into a plant, and when she tried, she had a sneeze, and by accident, she hit Starlight and transformed her to a palm tree. Trixie laughed and said sorry to Starlight, even though she didn't know if she could actually hear it or not. But Dashie transformed her back and said, well, that happened. She laughed and said, it's a little bit small setback, but don't worry, Trixie. Every pony has always some setbacks. Have has Starlight has Starlight told you about Twilight's first exam to school up gifted unicorns? No. Well, this is something was my aunt Celestia told me. Twilight turned both her parents into plants by accident. She did. Both Starlight and Dashie nodded. Wow, I didn't know that happened. Yeah, but it is something unusual. But you may have to give it a try. So Dashie. So Dashie told Trixie for the next couple of days they will be having this hard test and exams to show if she had learned anything. And even though that Trixie was still very much nervous to that she was failing her exams and even failing some of the basic understandable spells. Because she first believed that if she was failing all those tests, and even failing some of the basic new spells that she's been teaching, like been taught, that if she failed all of them, that she wouldn't want to continue to be her teacher and even want to train her to more advanced spells. And she even told Starlight that, but Starlight told her, listen, listen, Trixie, things not always works as we all want it to. But if you're willing to give your soul and heart into this, it will work. And look, even I had a lot of setbacks when I was training myself. Wait, you did? Well, everybody has. I mean, look at Twilight. She turned her parents to plants by sake. Yeah, but listen, you will make it. You will make a great magic within the magic. Think about it. If you can have this talent already, and if I have the same mistakes in the past, I mean, learned a lot of magical problems. I mean, one time I was trying to teleport me a little short distance from one place to another across the street. Instead, I did teleport myself into some police bathroom. Oh, and of course, no pony was even there at the time, but I was like, oh, this is awkward. And I teleport back to the street, but I never told anybody about it. You're the only one. Oh, I I won't prompt. I won't tell any pony. Thanks. So for next couple of days, Trixie was staying in Canterlot. And after a couple of days after that, she went back to Ponyville to spend time with her friends and even show them some of her practice and some of her smaller progress. But even though she was somehow doubting herself that she would even be perfecting her skills enough to be allowed to use some of the most advanced spells. But Twilight gave her a speech, a short one, telling her that if you are willing to give so much into something, always, always remember, focus. Even if you make some failures, always stand up again and try again. Even if it always works, sometimes it wouldn't work, she said to her, things will always be just surprising you, showing you that eventually you will handle it. It's like she said, Trixie, when you really are trying and when you're getting hand of it, you won't have no problem to perform the spells whatever it needs. Think about it. And Trixie realized that Twilight was right. So when she went back to Canterlot for about a week, she practiced over and over. Even though that she was trying to give herself the most hardest try to understand some of the basic spells was working. And after almost 2 weeks, she had actually learned all the new basic spells without no problem. But then she first believed maybe that Dashie wasn't going to teach her anymore. But surprising enough, since Dashie said, now Trixie, you had learned some of the most basic of understanding, I'm going to reveal you a small secret. These basic spells you have been training aren't the most common ones. This is in fact some of the most basic understanding about, at least the basic concept of my own spells. Trixie was dumbfounded. Turns out, some of the basic spells that she had been taught for 2 weeks were those basic concept of understanding of all the spells that Dashie had made up herself. Because Dashie didn't want to teach her the most advanced spells right away even not because if she did, the outcome of that could have been may even be a bigger disaster. Because Dashie said, I didn't want to do that from the start. I just wanted to have you to really understand some of the concept of, at least to get a hang of the basic of the spells before trying to do them even more the next step. Trixie understood because There is no way to say for certain what kind of outcome of the disaster. Trixie said, well, maybe I would blow up the whole library or maybe your room. Dashie smiled and said, yeah, that could have been something, or perhaps in the whole castle. That made Trixie a little bit scared, but that wasn't short lived because she realized now that she actually had the hang of the spells. So she asked Dashie, so what now? Are we done with the spells though? Oh no, way far from it, Dashie said with a big smile. Now, you're ready to learn the more advanced spells. She showed her a book and she said, I will allow you to read this for the night. And tomorrow, I will allow you to pick two spells. And you will be performing them in front of me, Celestia, Luna, and my dad. And of course, Starlight. That made a lot of pressure on Trixie. But she said thanks and she went to her room, studying the book from almost to like 10 p.m. She was tired, and that night she had a nightmare that when she was going to perform at least one of the spells did perfectly went well, but the second made a such huge disaster. She literally had destroyed the whole castle and even half of the capital of the city, and had even injured Luna, Celestia, and even Starlight. She was so scared that she was afraid that they would punish her by banish her to the moon for 1,000 years. So she left Equestria and went living far, far away as a farmer, never to use magic ever again. She was scared, and she even told this nightmare to Starlight the next day before she was going to perform these two spells. Starlight was just like, Trixie, you don't have to be worried. That's not going to happen. Are you sure? She tricks a little bit nervous. I know it won't happen. I mean, what if it's a sign for the future? Trixie, you know the future doesn't even exist yet. The future hasn't even happened. You know that, right? Yeah, but what? No, there's no what if. It will be fine. Don't worry. And I can only ask dear Celestia and Luna to put up a safety barrier around us, so it wouldn't even happen. Well, if you think like that, then okay. Later that noon, they went through a distant field just in precautions because Luna didn't want to have to happen around in the city itself. And they did put up this barrier around them so to protect the vicinity also. Uh, Trixie was allowing to pick the two spells. The first one went actually quite well, but the second one, she was very much hesitating to even want to perform the second spell. Because as Luna, Shooting Star, Celestia, and Dashie, and even Starlight were standing there waiting for her to perform the second spell. But she never did. Luna walked up to her and asked, Trixie, is something wrong? I, I, I can't do it. I won't do it. Trixie was telling them to Luna about her nightmare. She told her that she was afraid that this was a sign of the warning of his future. But Luna smiled and said, I know what you mean. I was actually there when it happened. Wait. But then she remembers. Luna has ability to walk in dreams. And I'm assuring you, that wasn't a sign of the future. It was just a regular nightmare. Trust me, as the princess of the night, I know. Everybody has a worrying about this. If I tell you a secret. And she whispered, you know, when I came back to Equestria after 1,000 years as a nightmare moon, I really had a hard time to get used to this new modern life. I was afraid that Pony would hate me, because I was afraid that they didn't remember I was they would know I was the night moon that Pony would even be near me. But look right now. I'm happy to be here. If I didn't, I wouldn't have met Shooting Star and had Dashie as my daughter. If that would have meant if Dashie wasn't here, you would have been here to been teaching or been taught the magic. Trixie realized that Luna had a point, and she took a deep breath and said, "Okay, I will try." "Good, you will make it. I'm sure of it." And Luna went back and Starlight asked, what did you two talk about?" "Oh, nothing worries. Just give her some encouragement speech." Trixie was ready while Starlight just looked at her friend and was give her a nod, and Trixie took a deep breath and performed the second spell perfectly, with no hesitation and no problem happened. After that, Trixie was actually happy to have been given two perfection spells. But a big surprising from Dashie that she said, "Trixie, you not only made two good performances of the two spells, you handled the two spells that I made. And honestly, it didn't I didn't have any such good luck in the first time I did." Trixie was a little bit surprised, but you show me that no matter what, any pony can handle it. And I have a surprise for you. Then she showed her a book. "It is for you." "What? What? This is yours?" "Oh, no worries. I made a copy. This is a copy. I wanted you to have it to learn some of the new spells that I have." "But does it mean that they're published?" "No. I'm giving you this book to you as a thanks to show me that I can even make my spells my own. And as a showing you, I can be a good teacher. And also, I'm very proud to have you as my friend, to give me encouragement to continue my work to writing new spells. For that, I'm truly happy to have you as a true friend." Trixie smiled and thanked for the book and gave her a hug. They later went back to Ponyville and the others were just happy. Trixie, though, she was just happy to have made a new true friend and also happy to have it. And this is how Trixie Lulamoon and Dashie become true friends. The end.